Yo, what's up? It's your boy Trey from RPM Real Power Moves. And when I tell you, we had an amazing and incredible night last night for our Future Movers podcast. We had a special guest, Elder Philip Butler. And when I tell you, he brought some clarity and he brought great things to our wonderful podcast last night. If you missed it, I got some clips to show you. Check it out.
Like Phil said, we had basketball players there. We had people that were hood. I mean, so hood that they stole the 2 O's out of hood just to keep it at HD. And so, you know, they were there and they were showing up, and we had outpours. I mean, we had people get saved in Bible club. So, you know, we ain't new to this. So, you know, y'all look at Pastor Shai. Pastor Shai didn't just arrive on the scene. We've been doing this even when we were your age. So some of you, your age, we were doing this at your age. And so just to see the evolution, and the crazy thing is we were talking in the office, Phil, and we said, this is just the surface. We haven't even arrived, but God has been using us all the way through. So it really shows you that God can do whatever he wants with whoever he wants. Being in ministry, but also having to understand that there still has to be a standard. What was that? Were there some things that you fumbled? Were there some things that you conquered and were successful in? Can you get into that?
Absolutely. As I stated, ministry absolutely isn't always going to be the flowers, but you're going to have some bad days and some rough times as well. And God absolutely is the only one who got me through those times in my life. And has anyone had a bike before? Okay, and your mom tells you to put your helmet on, and instead of putting your helmet on to ride the bike, you choose to ride without it, and then you fall and you scrape yourself. That wouldn't be something someone did to you, but that's called a self-inflicted wound. That caused me to have a self-inflicted wound, and it caused my life to shift and my future a little bit to change at the time. And I'll get into a little bit of that. I certainly love my baby to death. She is Kamora Cadence, and she is 7 years old, born August 7th, 2017. And I'm so excited for my beautiful baby girl, who I'm speaking of at this moment. And getting up to that point, as he said, of course, being a young person in ministry, not only are you going to be tempted and challenged, but how many know that there gets to a point where you're no longer going to be in these seats, but you have opportunity to do what you want to do, to make your own decisions. In an American household, more times than not, we find absentee fathers, whether that's in the individual household or in the life period. And of course, that always starts and shapes the foundation of one's future. And so when we look at the home dynamic and look at that support system, what does that look like? And then, of course, looking at your educational opportunities, because so many people aren't able to make the decisions that they want to make, but you have to go to the school that's in your school district, for example. So if you live in the inner city, whereas if you live in an urban area, of course, some of the things that you would have wouldn't be accessible. And of course, I believe that some of those things definitely goes into societal, some of the things that we face today. But then, on another note, there are social challenges that we deal with, and I'm not talking about social media.